Hey, Freddie, good morning. Welcome to Tuesday Coffee Chat. So yesterday, I realized about halfway through the day that it was National Coffee Day, and I feel like this was a huge oversight on my part because I didn't even mention it on yesterday's Coffee Chat. Coffee rules the world. Um, I am like I have an addiction to coffee. I'm just going to admit it. Whenever we go on trips, like this weekend when we went to Fort Worth, or when we go on vacation, one of the first things that comes to my mind is how am I going to get coffee in the morning? Because it's seriously the first thing that pops into my head as soon as my eyes open and I am conscious. Um, I set the coffee maker every night so it's ready to go in the morning. All I have to do is stumble out of bed, grab my cup, and fill it up. So when we stayed at the hotel this past weekend, I always have to ask Craig if he's going to run downstairs and grab me a cup of coffee because I'm usually like, I'm not even coherent enough to do that for myself. And he always obliges for me, which is very nice. But sometimes when we go to Mexico and we stay at the same place every time, and I know they have a coffee maker there, so I pack my own coffee and my own creamer in the suitcase, and we bring it along with us. And one time we forgot it. So we had to have the taxi driver stop at the grocery store on the way from the airport, and I had to improvise, but I'll never make that mistake again. So here's to coffee. It makes me more productive, so hey, it's all good. Anyway, I digress. All right, so it's Tuesday, and we're going to talk a little bit about tolerations again, because I think Tuesday's a good day to tackle tolerations, don't you? Yes, it is. So if you missed the tolerations talk last week, I shared a little bit about what a toleration is, and I gave you a worksheet to download. So if you missed that one, you can always go back on Facebook and go to the Get Your Pretty On page and look at the videos there, and you'll see the different coffee chats listed out. So anyway, I wanted to address tolerations because a lot of you knocked so many off your list last week. And I'm so proud of you because you just like jumped right into this and we're excited about it and took care of some things that have been lingering for a long time. If you missed out on that, you don't know what a toleration is. It's essentially anything in your environment. It can be in your home life, your work life, wherever, that's causing you low-level stress. That's something that you put up with on a daily basis. And it's usually pretty easy to take care of. So for example, some of the things that I put up with through the years are changing out a dull razor blade. I mean, it's such a simple thing to do, yet it's something that I would step into the shower and for weeks on end use the same razor. And it was just such a simple thing for me to switch out. Another example is my pillow. I always use this example because I used to have a terrible pillow, and it was just a matter of shopping and getting a new pillow and putting it on my shopping list and making it a priority. A dirty car. My car needed wash this past week, which was, yay, one of my tolerations that got knocked off the list. So that's another good one. A lot of ladies cite the example of their nightstands being cluttered and messy. And most of the time, these tolerations are things that take us maybe 5 to 10 minutes to take care of, but they just build up over time. So if you knocked some out last week, please comment and let me know. We had a lot of ladies in the Get Your Pretty On Pretties Facebook group, which is our private Facebook group. If you're not in there yet, please join. You can find it at Get Your Pretty On Pretties, Pretties. And it was great for accountability in there because we let everybody know what our tolerations were and what we were knocking off our list. So I encourage you to write out a list of things. This isn't about finding things that you're discontent about. It's about finding things that are just low-level annoyances that you can take care of and getting the awesome sense of accomplishment that you get from knocking those off your list. So let me know what you're going to take care of this week and what you took care of last week. But that is not our topic today. Our topic today is going to be about journaling. And I was thinking about this last night because journaling has really been a part of my life since I was a kid. I got my first diary when I was probably, I want to say about 10 years old maybe. And it was one of those diaries. I got it for Christmas and had the little lock and the little keys. Remember those? They were awesome. Actually, I went on Google last night. I was trying to find an image of it, but I couldn't find my exact one from the 80s. But I'm going to keep looking because I think that would bring back good memories. But that was my first foray into the world of journaling. And I loved it. I had a deep thought life even as a kid, and it was a way for me to express that. You know, from that point forward, I've pretty much kept a journal my entire life, which is amazing because I can look back on different periods in life and see what was going on then, and see the ways that I've evolved and the struggles that I've been through. And it's just been such an important tool to me and a big part of my self-care routine too. If you read my book, Get Pretty, Kick Butt, you know that the power hour is the way that I start every day. And part of my power hour is reading devotions and writing in my journal. This is just a way that I kind of set the tone for the day. And I'm going to go through some of the benefits of journaling here in a minute, because there are so many. So if you don't have a journaling practice now, then I highly, highly recommend it. Even if you think this is so not for me, this is not my personality at all, I'm hoping to convince you to give it a try. But again, it's been almost autobiographical for me to be able to look back through my life, like the trenches of being in the trenches of having young kids and motherhood. And Craig was traveling a lot, and being able to look back and see, you know, just some of the things that I've been through the years. And, you know, I'm a Christian and my faith is very important to me. And my journaling has evolved over the years. The one that I keep now is actually here on my laptop. And I've kept it for, I want to say, at least 8 years. I'm going to pull it up right now because I'm curious to see how far back it goes. So yeah, I started mine in 2010. It has, are you ready for this? 1,855,000 characters. That's amazing. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 2009. Wow, yeah, it's been even longer. It's been 9 years. So yeah, my journaling has evolved, and I said before it's more of a prayer journal now. So I talk about the things that are going on in my daily life, but I also talk about the things that I've been praying about. And the really cool thing about this journal is that because it's on my laptop, I can go back and use that little search feature in Word. So I just enter in the date, and you can go back for 9 years and see exactly what was going on in this day in my life through those 9 years. And it's so interesting to me that a lot of times these patterns keep coming up over and over again at the same time of year, sometimes on the same exact day. It's actually, it's eerie at times how similar some of the struggles that I've gone through are, or how, you know, something in my daily life is mirroring something that's happened before, or I'm feeling a certain way around certain times of the year. And I think the coolest thing about this prayer journal is seeing all of the answered prayer. I mean, it's a total testament to faith, and looking back and seeing all the things that God has done in my life and the things that he's worked out, and the struggles that I thought would never have a resolution that I prayed about for years and years and years. And then finally seeing that I'm not going through that anymore. Like that has resolved, and just being so grateful for those answered prayers, and seeing, you know, sometimes the prayers got answered immediately within hours, minutes of praying them. And sometimes they took many years to come to fruition, and seeing that a lot of times it was a process where it was more about God working on me and helping to heal or change something that I needed to work on, instead of just immediately answering the prayer. So it's been really cool to see that. And again, this is just such an important part of my self-care routine. Like if I miss my journaling in the morning, I just feel like my whole day is a little bit off, and I'll try to get in there later on in the afternoon or maybe toward evening. And, you know, it's really important to carve out time for this and make it a priority. And whenever I talked about my power hour in the mornings, this is how I start the morning. I read my devotions, and then I write my prayer journal. That's how I start every single day. It's my routine. I take my cup of coffee, I sit down at the kitchen table, and I do this as part of the way that I set the tone for my day. And I'm going to hop into those benefits right now, because I think this is so important. If you're not journaling yet, go out and buy yourself a pretty journal if you'd like to write. If not, open a Word doc on your laptop. It's that simple, and get started today and just, you know, start writing. A lot of times too, journals come with prompts. So if you're not sure what to write about, then that might be helpful for you. Or you can just start a gratitude journal where you sit down before you go to bed every night and take 5 to 10 minutes to write out everything that you're grateful for. Because if for no other reason, research shows that practicing gratitude makes us happier. So Who couldn't use a little more happiness, right? All right, so I'm going to jump into this article real quick because I found this really interesting. Here are 10 benefits, and I can include a link to this on Facebook if you want to read it for yourself. But the first benefit of journaling is you stretch your IQ. Strong cases support the ability to change your IQ, and writing as part of language learning has a positive correlation with intelligence. So journaling makes you smarter. It's an exploration of language. You'll have the natural urge to search for new words and increase your vocabulary. All right, so the second one, I love this one. It evokes mindfulness. Mindfulness is a buzzword for good reason. There's a strong connection between happiness and mindfulness. Journaling brings you into that state of mindfulness. Past frustrations and future anxieties lose their edge in the present moment. It calls a wandering mind to attention, from passivity to actively engaging with your thoughts. And I think this is another reason why I like to start my day like this, just with that mindfulness and coming into the moment. And when I sit down to do my journal, I definitely feel that happening. And just adding in the prayer aspect to my journal and writing it in a way where I am having a conversation with God, I think really also enhances that experience for me. All right, the third one is achieving goals, and who doesn't love this? Journaling often includes your dreams and ambitions, yet the idea that scribbled words can help achieve goals is understandably fanciful, but consider building a house without a blueprint. That makes more sense. Writing goals signals to your brain that this is important. Your reticular activating system, RAS, then flags relevant opportunities and tools to achieve that goal. More detailed goals provide a psychological blueprint and increase the likelihood of achieving them. I totally believe this. When I was doing the Rediscover Me Challenge and we talked about goal setting, you know, one of the most important things about setting a goal is that it activates, I didn't know it was called the reticular activating system, but it activates this in your brain. And then you start to see things in your environment that are reminders of this goal. And sometimes just the act of setting a goal and not even thinking about it for months on end, you may look back and realize that you accomplished that goal without even consciously thinking about it. So I definitely am like a big, huge believer in setting goals, and journaling can definitely help with that. Number 4 is it helps your emotional intelligence. Journaling is an outlet for processing emotions, and it increases self-awareness. This internal familiarity becomes a bridge of empathy. You'll better intuit and understand what others are experiencing. Being able to get on the same page with someone is a mark of emotional intelligence, and it allows for much deeper connection. So yeah, it is definitely a tool for self-awareness and increases emotional intelligence. Next is it boosts your memory and comprehension. There's a unique relationship between the hand and brain, sparked by the composition of thoughts and ideas. Words are representations of ideas, and the formation of letters and causes the mind to compose or recompose ideas while journaling. I don't write in my journal, I type. There are 2 reasons I do that. Number 1, I'm a really fast typer. Thank you, Mr. King, for those keyboarding classes in high school. The second reason is because I do like to be able to jump quickly from year to year and see what was going on in my life. But yeah, if you're into handwriting, I absolutely think that there are definite benefits to doing it that way as well. It strengthens your self-discipline. Yes, setting time aside to write, whether morning or evening, is an act of discipline. And discipline begets discipline. Like a muscle, the more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Habits formed in one area of life have a tendency to spread, as keeping your office clean leads to keeping the bedroom tidy. Tolerations, they do lead to tackling more of them. Your daily practice of writing will domino into other healthy habits. I totally get that too. The next one is it improves your communication skills. Writing has critical connections to speaking. According to a Stanford report, journaling is a form of written communication, albeit to oneself. Nonetheless, the sub-vocalization of tracing your written thoughts naturally translates into actual vocalization. Of course, anyone journaling must have a deliberate aim to tidy up their writing in order to see benefits in their verbal communication. But making that decision during writing benefits your speaking. Next up, and this was a big one for me, is healing. Expressive writing is a route to healing emotionally, physically, and psychologically. Dr. James Pennebaker, author of Writing to Heal, has seen improved immune function in participants of writing exercises. Stress often comes from emotional blockages and overthinking hypotheticals, he explains. When we translate an experience into language, we essentially make the experience graspable. And in doing so, you free yourself from mentally being tangled in traumas. Studies have also shown that the emotional release from journaling lowers anxiety, stress, and induces better sleep. All amazing things. All right, the next one is it sparks creativity. I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but Julia Cameron has this thing called morning pages, and it helps to unlock your creativity. a writing tool that basically has you do stream of consciousness writing. I think she recommends that you wake up in the morning and do this first thing and just start writing. And she says, beyond overcoming writer's block, stream of consciousness writing brings out thoughts and ideas you never even knew you had, and it loosens up your expressive muscles. So if you're looking to be more creative, you might want to try doing this, including even one page as part of your journaling will get your creative juices flowing. And I've never tried this before, but I'm really curious about it now. I would like to just sit down and open a document on my laptop and just do a stream of consciousness and see what happens. Sounds cool. All right, the next thing is self-confidence. Journaling about a positive experience allows your brain to relive it and reaffirms your abilities when the ugly head of self-doubt appears. The release of endorphins and dopamine will boost your self-esteem and mood. These reflections can become a catalog of personal achievements that you continue to go back to. I love this. I've mentioned the struggles and the emotional aspects and dealing, with anxiety and other things, but this is so true too. Document your wins. Go back and read through them, especially if you're on a journey to accomplishing something. You definitely want to remember all of the little steps along the way and all of the smaller wins that lead to the bigger wins, because that's going to keep you going and it's going to give you confidence. And when you look back on that, you're going to say, hey, I was able to do this, so I can keep going and make this happen. So yeah, it's important to also document your wins and the things that are going to make you feel confident. All right, and then the last thing is, as you work to incorporate journaling into your life, remember the elephant is best eaten one bite at a time. Patience and consistency are crucial in forming new habits. Begin writing perhaps 3 days a week, first thing in the morning or before sleeping. Yes, I totally agree with that. And if you can't commit to doing a daily writing or journaling practice, then maybe you carve out some time on a Saturday or Sunday morning and you commit to starting it then. But there are just so many great things about journaling, and I just can't say enough about it. So if you're not currently doing it, or if you are, I would love to hear from you and share your experience with me about your journaling. I hope you guys have an awesome Tuesday, and also let me know about your tolerations you're tackling. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.